All right, folks, welcome to another date on the Friday edition of the Journalist Hangout Show. I am Citizen Jones Usen. Today on the program, armed robbers killed DPO, 7 police officers in bank raid in Kogi State, and later on, the Nigerian music family mourns reggae legend Majek Fashek. I'm hanging out with BKO Babajide Kolade-Otitoju. Jide, your state is in the news. I love it. I love it.
Yeah, I don't know it.
Okay, what does Yomi say?
I wish it was good news.
Oh, come on.
But,
For the journalists,
we are hardly in the news
for
good things.
the journalists, bad news is news, and so on. Okay, the team is ready. I hope you are. Okay then, daredevilry, audaciousness, hardiness. These are some of the available adjectives for recounting the Thursday noon robbery attack by a band of armed robbers in Isonlu. I hope I got that right. Isonlu town in Yagba East local government area of Kogi State. Beginning with an audacious assault on the Isonlu police station, where the DPO, along with 5 other officers, including 2 police women, were felled in cold blood, plus letting loose of suspects in police custody. The criminals descended on the branch of an old generation bank in the town. The rest, as we say, as always, is history. Armed robbery in this country appears to be a full-time vocation, full-time job.
It's unfortunate that this kind of thing has happened. Not long ago, we had a similar bank robbery, a similar raid on a bank in Ofa, Kwara State.
Yeah.
It's similar in the sense that they went for policemen, killed policemen, descended on the bank area, killed even people who were plying their trade just outside the bank. In this case, civilians didn't really suffer that much, except for the policemen. Clearly, they targeted the policemen. The intention is to ensure that the policemen won't be able to launch a fight back. Okay. I've seen criminals do this. In the 90s, in Kano, robbers stormed the Bureau de Change.
Okay.
In the Fegi area of Kano. The first thing they did was to go straight to the police station.
That's to immobilize any
yes,
attempt
so
at
that they will not be able to
yeah.
mount a fight back if they get the distress call. So that's what they did. All the policemen who were on duty were clearly targeted. And 2 women, one of those women, those policemen, is actually from my village, from Ikiniade.
Your village is a...
Ikiniade. That's from my village.
It's in the map. No, I want to be sure. Go on.
That is not in the map. You and I know that your own that is not on the map. You know, so they killed the woman. Killed the woman. We are mourning right now. The governor, I was told that because of the lockdown in Kababuno, some of the soldiers who you normally will find on Kogi roads were withdrawn to go and effect the lockdown. You know, and the policemen they didn't get support. The sort of protection that the policemen would have received if those soldiers were around, they couldn't get. So it's unfortunate.
Yomi, you know, I said in my intro, I'm not quarreled with it. Armed robbery appears to be a full-time vocation here. So, you know, that robbery was properly planned. They would have surveyed the environment and...
It's very terrible. I mean, first, my condolences to the families of the policemen that were slain and also the civilians as well. It's a very sad situation. Of course, this is a full-time vocation for certain people who have decided that they don't have anything else that they can do. But it's a continuous process as well.
At a critical time like this.
Yes. It's also, it seems like it's something that is recurrent, especially in towns that seem vulnerable to this kind of things. Maybe the security is a bit not that heavy. The security presence in those areas are not that heavy. Usually after surveilling those kind of areas, they then move in. But there's something that is also critical, which is one of the strategies that these robbers use in this case, which is that they threw dynamite and things like that.
Oh, yeah. It
seems like increasingly these daredevil armed robbers are beginning to look for other ways to create shock and awe when they approach either a bank or a police station and all of that, throwing dynamite and all of that to create confusion before then, of course, moving in and wreaking havoc all over the place. And then, in fact, the murders are just absolutely
how far from
terrible.
your village is Isoko?
I mean, I'm from Kaba town, so probably 50 minutes.
But attacking that sleepy town, if that is proper, it means there's information on the outside. I mean, how much would a first bank in that environment hold?
No, we're able to hold a few millions because the farmers, the other business people in that area rely on that branch. It's not every community in that area that has a bank, you know. So the people from close by communities, they use that bank. The truth is, this has happened in Ondo State, happened in Ekiti State, happened in Ogun State a number of times. They look for communities, rural communities with banking presence. So that is where they go. They know that it's difficult to pull off bank robbery successfully in urban centers. So they target those far-flung and rural communities, yes, because they know that the opportunity to get away would be there. For example, if you go to a place like Akute now, you want to rob a bank. All the access roads, all the access roads can be easily blocked. But when we are talking about rural communities, the opportunity to get away is there for them. And so if you look at bank robberies that are taking place recently, they were largely in those remote and semi-urban communities. And what they use the dynamites to do is to break the bank door. You know? So it's with those explosive devices that they break the door, because the doors are usually kind of fortified, you know, and bulletproof in some cases. So with the dynamite that they throw at the door will be shattered, and then they can go inside and probably go to the vault and steal some money.
Yomi, you know, criminologists will tell you, in a case like this, when you remove the impossible, you know, when you eliminate them, whatever is left, however improbable, must be the truth. Inside information.
Well, now, I mean, increasingly we're seeing cases like this. It happened with bank robbery, an attempted bank robbery in Abuja, and also the recent one in Ekiti in November last year, where from the CCTV they discovered that one of the staff of the bank had already begun stealing money before the robbers arrived. So there was already connivance between staff of the bank and the robbers that came. So it's possible that, you know, at some different points in the month, maybe the bank receives a large amount of money either for farmers or for payment of local government staff and things like that. So it's possible that it was one of those times that information
coming
was
at this time is not an accident.
Yes, so it's the beginning of the month. Obviously, the bank was probably, you know, had a lot of cash for payments.
Or they got wind that one big money had just been received.
But JD, happily, we can sit here and say, with the speed the police in Edo State reacted to the killing of that hapless Uniben student, we expect the police, when the police wants to work, they will work.
Especially if you kill one of their own or some of their own, they will get you. The police have always had that reputation. If you kill some of their own, they will get you. They know where the robbers are. Remember that attack inside the airport premises in Lagos, where they slaughtered 4 policemen inside the car. They got each and every one of those robbers. You know, so it's predictable. Once you look at what happened in Ofa, they got them. They got there and discovered that a SARS officer that had been dismissed was actually the one who led the operation. we hear that it's dead now.
If they are going to be unearthed, why undertake the gamble?
Of course, they will not know. They say fortune favors the daring. Armed robbers are among the most daring categories of people you can find. So no pain, no gain. So they took the pain to embark on armed robbery. At that point, they can't be thinking that one day they will be caught. They would think that, well, they could get away with it. But the Nigerian police has the capacity when they really want to work to catch these people. And I'm looking forward. I've been waiting for the official response of the police, but I've not seen the official response. But I know that
will be the candidate
they are going to descend heavily on these robbers, and they will get them because it's important.
Yes, all of us can support you, can be behind you. But likewise, other people can come and contest. But as for me,
want to believe
never.
It is not necessarily true that every society will prepare the crime and the criminal will commit it. I'm still ruminating over it. But then I wish the Nigeria police could get to the root of the matter. Enough is already too much. Now to our next story. The entire Nigerian music family, nay, the African continent, has been thrown into grieving. Animated reggae star and lyricist and showman, the 57-year-old Majek Fashek is dead. Majek, whose real name was Majek Fashek, was Osun State born. He died in his sleep on Tuesday, June 2nd in New York City, USA. Majek, in his short but very eventful life, had stints with reggae superstar Jimmy Cliff and with pop stars like Tracy Chapman and Snoop. Is it Doggy Dog? Can we ever forget him? Apart from being a revolutionary musician, he also offered hope in his songs. Jide is in the spirit. Yomi, you know, when men and mountains meet, great things are done. That was a collabo. That's what you call it?
Yes.
The song Holy Spirit, the lyrics would be what should interest me. The lines penned by Majek Fashek himself.
Yes, I've taken with inspiration from the book of Revelation.
Oh yeah.
We're talking about the second coming and angels and things like that. So it's a very celestial kind of thinking that went into that song. Very deeply spiritual. Yeah. Very deeply spiritual.
Jide, and what separates the boys from the men would be musicianship, especially on stage.
Oh yes.
You know.
You see, these days, what we have generally are singers and not musicians.
Studio singers.
Studio singers. Singers, not musicians. Majek Fashek was not just a lyricist, he was a fantastic band leader. He was also a musicologist. He could play different instruments. He could play the guitar, he could play the horns, the wind instruments, and he could play the keyboard. That is one quality that is absent in most of the wave-making stars of today. They can't even play one instrument to stay alive.
Your dictionary, even Michael West, tells you a musician is somebody who plays an instrument. If you don't play an instrument, you are not
really,
a musician.
because
you are a singer.
Now what they call a lot of these people, the more modern ones, they call them recording artists.
Okay.
So they're also beginning to
well for me,
give them they're giving them a new definition to reflect the realities of the day. Because I mean, how would you compare someone who can play an instrument with a Majek Fashek, for instance? You have to then give him another name, which is recording artist, because most of what you do is in the studio. Yes.
What is it with those albums?
Jide, Majek Fashek has left. Nobody lives forever, but they say create something that will outlast you. So many songs he left. So long, too long. Look at the lyrics. Long, too long.
He said, remember, remember Marcus Garvey, who had a dream for you, Africa. Remember, remember, remember Martin Luther King, who had a dream for you, America.
I beg you, don't get the instrument there.
If we unite, we will be free. So long. It's so long, too long. So long. It's too long.
Let me say, it is true, the Voice of America used that song as a bridge during the program.
Yeah, very true.
After he appeared on Letterman, the late evening show on TV in America.
I mean, his music transcended not just Nigeria but across Africa because of the consciousness of the music. He spoke against apartheid and a number of created black consciousness in a lot of us growing up, and it was more of because of the influence of people like Bob Marley and other people that he worked with like Lucky Dube and all of that. That created a lot of black consciousness that made people really respond even around the world.
The wife of Bob Marley, Rita Marley, gave Majek Fashek $100,000 gift when he sang the song Redemption Song, and it was a cover for one of the albums. It could only have come from a Majek.
Yes, Redemption Song had different versions. Even Bob Marley did what you call the band version of it.
Okay.
The band version of the Redemption Song was the one that I preferred.
Okay.
Sung by Bob Marley himself, produced by,
but accompaniment
arranged by Bob Marley himself. So now with Majek Fashek bringing African percussion and other elements, either to that Rita was not really familiar with. So it caught the eye and really impressed her.
Yeah.
That you can actually infuse some African elements into this kind of song.
African music, Yomi, thrives on song and dance, chorus lines and so on, and percussion, the drums.
Because that's what brings out the rhythm and the dance.
That
the whole world is now infecting the whole world. So most of the dances you even see in modern musical videos come from Africa. The beats, the rhythm, and all of that. And Majek just, he was just someone. He was a great export for Nigeria. Even in the 90s.
Now let's say one of Majek's contemporaries and former president of the Performing Musicians Association of Nigeria, PMAN, Tony Okoroji, described him as mythical, and creative. According to him, Majek Fashek will live on in our minds because of his evergreen lyrics. Let's hear Tony in his tribute.
Majek Fashek was one of the most creative artists I've known, and in my lifetime I've met a lot of artists. I would tell you that he was mystical. He wrote music that was different from everyone else. Very deep lyrics. Of course, his popular song "Send Down the Rain" had a mystical quality to it. I am not superstitious, not in any way, but I've been around and seen Majek perform several times. And once Majek said, the skies are misty and cloudy, it looks like the rain is going to fall. You know what happened? The rain began to fall in so many places. So some will say it's coincidence. I know that it can't be coincidence. This has happened once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, 6 times in my presence, right? And you see the day that Majek passed on, it was raining all over, And since then it stopped. There was some quality to the gentleman that was different from every artist that I have known. And I knew Majek so well. He was my friend, my brother. He was my compatriot. And he supported me from head to toe. And during the period that he fought for his health, I was there with Majek. I was there with Majek. Even when he was in Abuja, I had to go to Abuja, to be with Majek Fashek. I feel that we lost an icon, but they say that Rasta never dies. Rasta never dies. So my conclusion is that Majek is not dead, he traveled, and someday we'll get together, I will make music together again, I feel it. But you look at the amount of reaction that has followed news that Majek has passed on, then you understand how much he has touched people, across the world, across the country, everywhere. Majek was an icon. I traveled with him everywhere. We toured around the country, and when he decided to leave for the United States, yeah, I was in New York with Majek. I watched Majek perform at a great New York club there called Kilimanjaro. He performed on the same stage with Third World. I can tell you that Majek Fashek stole the show. Everybody was like, wow, what was this, about this guy? The reaction was tremendous, tremendous. Yeah. The guy was deep, very, very deep. Go and listen to everything he wrote. Very deep, The sky looks misty and cloudy. It looks like the rain is going to fall. Take the whole of that song and analyze it. You are not just talking about, a guy who just wrote an "I love you, you love me" song. My was not a CFG reggae artist. If you know music and you know the chord CFG, that's just what most reggae artists did. Majek will write a song that you interpret in minors and diminished chords and all that. He was outstanding, and he had a personality that was infectious. Wherever, even in later days, he was infectious. When he started, Majek was one of the best-looking artists you could find. Anyway, he took off his shirts and all the girls went gaga, I can tell you that. Technology has obviously changed the industry significantly. Some of us used to record in massive record studios, built in big warehouses. Now the record studio has become a very small place. You can do recordings now on your laptop and so on and so forth. So there are changes, and with the appearance of YouTube and so on, almost everybody has become a record label on their own. The same way that almost everybody now is a publisher, and everybody is a TV station. More or less, you can go into Instagram now and broadcast to as many people as you want. So I mean, the industry has changed.
Well, let's tell you, Tony Okoriji couldn't have said it better. Yomi, I know they call you not because you are the youngest here, but then you said you could be old man. Do you remember a song like "Religion, Na Politics"? Many people know all the tricks, blah, 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 playing out in these COVID times.
Yes, it's
talking about the power of his lyrics.
Yes, he doesn't. I think one of the things that he did, and a lot of the artists during that period, was that they didn't just write a lyric because it was nice sounding. They wanted a lyric that would hit the consciousness of the listener, which is what a lot of them referred to in the 70s and the 80s as black consciousness music, which is they made you conscious of who you are as a person and your identity. So when you listen to, say, Bob Marley's Buffalo Soldier, talking about the fact that an individual was stolen from Africa, brought to America, so giving you a sense of your history, which is very, very important in the lyrics of his music as well, so that when you listen to it, it gives you an identity, to something that you can, when you sing it, it speaks to you as an individual. That's how to write lyrics.
Jide, musicians of the generation of Bob Marley, come on, Bob Marley, Majek Fashek, they sang our weaknesses, our strengths, our hopes,
and they offered hope,
and so on and so on. The lines are what should catch you.
Yes, when he said, "Let the righteousness take over the heads," Majek, "Let the workers of iniquity be chased out of creation." He recorded those lines to show that, look, he was not happy with what was going on, and he wanted the deity to do something, do something about the situation. When he felt that, look, South Africa had been suffering apartheid for too long, he sang that song that Mandela should be freed. And I remember that it was that year Mandela was freed. And I was in Kaduna.
You remember Babangida, Babangida,
Free
Free
Mandela.
Mandela.
You know, so his song resonated with the people. You see, every song proceeding from his mouth had a message. When you talk about, because my favorite song was that Religion and Politics, and I've said it before, because when you at the end of the day, it's the message that I'm concerned about.
Yeah.
That let us unite. We are one people. I are one people. You know, he's saying, let us unite. Let's not deceive ourselves. And he's saying that most of them are Pharisees. How did Jesus Christ describe the Pharisees? As hypocrites. So he said, when they say, oh, we worship Ogun, oh, we are Christians, we are this, that, a lot of them are Pharisees. That's what we see today. So much religiosity. People call themselves pastors, people call themselves fantastic Islamic clerics. They can't even show mercy, which is one of the few things that God admonishes us to do.
You profess Christianity, for instance, confess Christ, but you are not exuding those things in your daily life and living with people.
I mean, that's also in the scripture that all the appearance.
Okay, you are talking the scripture. So now, so now I know.
All the appearance of the person shows that he's a Christian.
Okay.
But his living, his daily life, and his relationship with others do not demonstrate demonstrate that he's actually a Christian, and that also you can find in these lyrics. It's really, really deep.
Religion and politics, lot of them be Pharisees. Religion and politics, lot of them be Pharisees. Religion and politics, them are hypocrites now. Religion is politics.
We're going to bring some instruments here so that we can sing.
All right. Okay then. We'll take a break now, right? Let's take a breather and come back. Don't forget, Majek Fashek has passed, but his songs would remain with us for a long, long time to come. Please stay. Of course, then, no tribute can be too little or too much for Majek Fashek. Foremost entertainment journalist Olumide Inyoda also paid glowing tributes to Majek. He described him as a prophet who always stood out in the crowd due to his outstanding personality and great music. So let's share Inyoda's perspective on the enigma Majek Fashek. Watch this now.
I mean, Majek stood out because of his music primarily. There's also his infectious personality. He was extremely creative. It is almost impossible not to notice Majek from the crowd. It was good with his music. His message was his message was also very good. He spoke about things that people could easily relate to. And don't also forget the part about him being a prophet. Incidentally, his song Send Down the Rain, drawing rain as it were. And the fact that his second album, there's a song in his second album called Free Africa, Free Mandela. Interestingly, to lay credence to the belief that Majek Fashek was a prophet, Mandela was actually released a few months after that song was released. That was after 27 years in jail. So Majek had this aura about him. His music was wonderful, his personality was great, and everything. My meeting with Majek, I met Majek on two levels. I encountered Majek for the first time in 1988 with Send Down the Rain. I mean, I didn't meet him personally, but I mean in the flesh, but I will say that was my first meeting with Majek, being a music person, being an art person. Then my first time of meeting him in the flesh, incidentally, I think that was, I can't remember the year now, but it was in my office in Ikeja. I was the editor of Saturday Independent then. He came with his manager to promote one project he was working on. And we met, we spoke as kindred spirits. It was illuminating to meet Majek in the flesh and to see that in spite of everything, he was still a very, very deep personality. Well, I will respect Majek's belief as a Rastafarian. Rastas don't die, like they say. And you see, there are several levels to human existence. There's the physical, there's the spiritual, and all of that. So, yeah, to an extent, he could have departed physically, but with the fact that his music is still around shows that, given the body of work he left behind, it's difficult to say Majek is dead. We encounter him every day. I'm receiving the news of his passing. I was gutted. I described Majek as a kindred spirit. We had a number of things in common. So for me, Majek, as far as his music is concerned, it will never die.
Well, artists like Majek Fashek don't die, they only grow old, if you get that. And he belonged in a generation that Jide considers the golden one.
Yes, perhaps the greatest generation of musicians that this country has ever seen.
Without prejudice to the Ebenezer Obeys.
Yes,
and
without prejudice to, in terms of the quantum of musicians that came out during that era,
okay,
and what they achieved, the fact that they also made Nigeria more famous,
okay,
by the brand of music, and the quality of talent that came out about the same time. You can say that was the golden generation. It's just like when you talk about the Super Eagles. It's difficult to find a blend of Nigerian football talents as good as the team that Clemens Westerhoff took to the 1994 World Cup, that got to the second round in his first attempt at the World Cup. Became
the 5th most entertaining team on the planet.
Yes, and was rated number 5 on FIFA rankings. We've never got that close. So when you look at singers like Alexito, who was Ebenezer Obeys drummer, Alexito was one.
Yomi, you can't link that.
Alexito sang the song "Tickle Me, Tickle My Soul." In those days, everybody liked to sing that song. And then you had Ras Kimono, who died not long ago. Yes. The one who sang Gimeleku Sugar Fimiti, during my youth service. That was the anthem.
Be like say you like to enjoy life.
So then you remember Chris Okotie, I Need Someone.
Oh, come on.
Chris Okotie. Then shortly after Chris Okotie hit the scene, we had Jide Obi, who sang the song.
Yeah.
Everyone's talking, front page
news.
Then the man from your area.
You don't the chop
life from your area. That man from your area now.
Okay.
Peter Side Oton.
Okay, Peter Side Oton.
We had the prophets, Okay. So we had, though, at that time, even if you didn't like to watch music, watch TV.
Yeah.
They will show you the music of these stars and you like it. Then, of course, Blackie, very young.
Yeah.
And at that time, it was
Blackie,
have a dance.
Yeah.
See, I'm sure he met Blackie.
Yeah,
they are probably from the same generation. Then, of course, Onyeka Oweno.
Okay.
Onyeka Oweno came in about the same period.
Onyeka, you had a collabo with Sonny Ade.
Chris Okotie.
Yes. No, Onyeka had a collabo with Sonny Ade. It was Madam Olóhùn, let them say, oh, Jeje life now we want. I no go lie, I love you well. So happiness.
Do you remember Tina Onwudiwe?
Okay.
The song, the one who died of cancer. Who was?
Black on Black.
She sang this song. I remember this song, Master Plan.
Yeah,
Master Plan.
She sang Black on Black too.
And then Harry Moscow, Sugar Cane Baby. Are you leaving?
I remember that. I'm surprised. I'm sure a lot of our viewers watching are surprised as well. So there was also Felix Liberty, who was
Lover Boy.
The Lover Boy.
Felix Liberty. Many people did not know that Felix Liberty was already a performing artist at Hotel Presidential in Enugu before he came down to Lagos to finish his secondary education. You can imagine someone extremely talented and young, at that time. Extremely talented. He was already performing before live audiences at Hotel Presidential Enugu. Before the elder brother brought him to Lagos to finish his secondary education, and he did well with Tabansi Records.
Yomi, what he has told you can be simply summed up this way: there was a country.
Yeah, it's a true history lesson, and I think even today, when you check online, there's not enough information about a lot of these Nigerian artists, even the ones from the 50s and the 60s. The information is always very scanty. So this is probably an assignment to somebody out there, a project that you can take on, and probably might end up being quite lucrative if somebody can actually put together a catalog. And also be able to, tell these stories in the way that will make the coming generation understand.
A lot of those artists, we sing their songs. People don't even know the origin of those songs. Who sang those songs? Who produced those songs? Those who produced great musical works, including his by Shino Peters, which also came in the 80s.
Cool. That's the same generation.
Yes, he also blossomed in the 80s. And if you look, they are of the same age range, because Shino is 63 now. Now, we had this woman who was head of Sony Music at that time.
I'm seeing her now.
I'm trying to remember her name. She was a powerful woman in the music industry at that time. So
she moved from Phonodisc to Sony Music.
And in those days, people
God bless her name.
People like Peter Tosh used to come to Nigeria. The musician used to come to Nigeria because EMI was EMI was the recording company for Peter Tosh. Jimmy Cliff also. Majek also sang with Jimmy Cliff. Had collabo with Tracy Chapman and other. Our artists were really doing very, very well, and there was competition. If you were not super talented, nobody would know you during that era. It's not the era of lyrical emptiness, where people merely sing about boys and girls sleeping together and then you think that's music. It can't last.
Yomi, hear this one. And the music, they say the person will sing and he make millions. At any trouble, problem.
From the beginning of the song to the end. I think it's one of the things that we have this
Instagram I say bomb don't know, sir. Oh yeah, just I'm a problem.
Can you imagine?
And
they say they don't make money.
You don't hear that.
So there's been a transformation and also an evolution of music. Where local music becomes world music because of social media and a quick spread. And also with the connection of brands, local and international brands, also investing in music and investing in artists. Now it's easy for an artist to make a lot of money from just one song, as opposed to the old days where you had to go through this long process. And even after a 25-year career, you might not be able to show so much for it. But now, within a year, an artist can become a multi-millionaire.
Okay, all right then. Let's also tell you that in spite of this huge talent, Majek had the time to make babies. He had 5 of them, and his eldest child is Randy. There's a hidden side to the personality of Majek Fashek, I should tell you, that's not known to the public. The son, Randy Majek, led us into the world of the father many don't know. Here he is.
Please excuse my red eyes, as it's been really tough the last few days. I'll start by saying thank God for his love, his mercy, his grace, and giving us the strength to go through this. I also want to thank the fan for all the emotional support. It's been incredible, the amount of support and love we've been receiving from you guys. I'd like to say thank you. Please keep the blessings coming. My family is devastated with this whole situation, and we're doing our best to give each other strength to overcome this. My dad was an incredible person beyond the spiritual talent he had. One of the most talented people I know, and one of the most stubborn people I know. A combination of his stubbornness, his God-given talent, the ability to stay motivated, his uniqueness, his aspiration to stand for things that nobody else would stand for or even speak on, His mistakes, his experiences, and his present is what makes him Majek Fashek as you know him today. There's another part to him, which most people don't know, is the dad aspect of him. A loving father of 3, Michael, Destiny, and I can go on for days on the amazing experiences we have had with him. How everyone in the house except for mom was always called Dread. Continuously fighting with him because we were tired of listening to Bob Marley, Jimi Hendrix, or whoever he likes for literally like a year on repeat. Or coming home to see 30 people in the house just chilling, vibing, listening to music, while my mom is going crazy trying to entertain everybody. I love my dad. I will miss my dad. And I know he's in a good place. And, you know, God has a reason for everything. In this moment, please give us a time to get things in the proper perspective and then get back the proper information to you guys. Please note that due to this COVID and everything else going on, things are a bit slow, and we will update you guys accordingly. Again, thank you for your love, your support, and keeping his name alive. And if you know Dad, or if you knew Dad, you would know that he never says bye. He would always say peace and love. Thank you.
Say hi to everybody, you know. Let them know how you're feeling. You okay? Yeah. Well,
to God be the glory.
Yeah, man.
Well, gentlemen, you know, great. Gentlemen, but you know, the downside is when your eyes leave the ball, okay? Talent is God.
I wanted to remember her name, KG.
KG Okunawa.
Yes.
KG
Somebody just sent the name to me. Yes.
Okay, KG Okunawa. Oh, come on, you can say that. Jide, I met her in the course of my work. Yeah. Okay, you know, talent is God-given.
And now Louis Kings.
Oh, yeah, Lalu, another producer. He worked.
Peters.
That's it. The name, Lemmy Jackson.
Lemmy
Jackson also produced Majek.
That was Lemmy Jackson, who was credited with producing Majek Fashek.
Yeah.
Bringing him to limelight.
You know, talent is God-given. Fame is man-made. The trouble had always been balancing both. Yes. The downside was Majek Fashek's supposed affinity with drugs.
I mean, that it was something that really affected everything around him, everything about his persona, his talent, and also his potential to be able to make money from music. Because that potential, you need to keep it going, because that is what helps you to go from country to country, performing live and all of that. But once drugs set in, initially it will look a bit recreational. You can do this and do that and still perform. But after a while, when one becomes very addicted to it, especially the really hard drugs like crack, cocaine, methamphetamine, and things like that, it then begins to affect every aspect of the person's life.
So when you leave conventional drugs and veer into substances, Jide, it's crazy.
It's deeper, yes.
You are trying God.
I want to believe that if Majek's mom had lived on a little longer, this wouldn't have happened, because Majek lost his dad at the age of 11 and was extremely close to the mom. In fact, you could see that the influence of the mom made him the spiritual being that he was. You know, not that he was really a Christian of the fantastic hue. But he was spiritual, and he could draw from the Bible, you know, to amplify his message and all that.
He was not a mainstream Christian.
He wasn't really a mainstream Christian, but the mom was very close, because in those days, when they went to interview Majek, the mom would be by his side, but he lost his mom too a bit early, just not long after he hit stardom. So, But it's still not an excuse to
say,
take to
there's
substance
no armor
abuse.
against fate.
Yes.
When it comes, it comes.
It's still not an excuse. And this is a lesson that people must learn, because some people go through rehab and they come back, you know, okay. But that is not,
when you are out of a rehab, you are playing catch up.
Whitney Houston, one of the greatest vocalists that I've ever known.
Come on.
She got into drugs, she lost her life, you know, in the process. So people must learn. Talented musicians must learn.
Managing talent is a whole
And of
book.
course, the people around you too. Yeah. You must be blessed with the right people. If you are not blessed with the right people, they won't be able to shepherd you in the right way, so that you stay off drug and remain true to your talent.
All right, we must go. And of course, the words of Woody Allen, American humorist and wit. He said, "No, I'm not afraid of death. I just don't want to be there when it happens." I hope Majek was not there when it happened. Yomi, thank you for coming.
Thank you, sir.
Jide, many thanks for your time.
Yes.
Enjoy your weekend.
We will miss Majek, certainly.
We'll lose him. Please take care of your talent. Talent alone is not enough.
Stay away from drugs.
Stay away from drugs. You don't need it. That's it on the program for today and the week. Join us on Monday for a fresh episode, and you may also see the program on other platforms we'll display on the screen now, and on YouTube at youtube.com/TVC News Nigeria. The feedback channel remains the same. Meanwhile, on behalf of the Backroom Boys here, I say enjoy your weekend. Bye-bye.